What if there was a crossover between the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Star Wars universe? What if MCU's Asgard would clash against the Galactic Empire? In today's fanfiction, we would explore this unique clash. In this fanfiction, for simplicity's sake, the Star Wars universe has the same timeline as the MCU. The setting of this fanfiction would be at the beginning of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Without wasting any more time, let's dive right into it. The 9 realms all have been conquered by Odin and his Asgard Empire. Alongside with his firstborn child, Hela, Odin was satisfied with their success. He decided that with all the realms under his command, peace would be more suited choice to maintain peace. Hela, on the other hand, wanted a bloodier conquest of the other worlds. Just as he was contemplating, Heimdall came to him and told him that he spotted some weird soldiers who looked like cyborgs lurking near Asgard. Odin commanded Hela to investigate the situation. Hela, with her Fenris and several Einherjar soldiers, scouted the area and eventually came across these soldiers. Hela attacked the cyborgs and easily wiped them out, single-handed with her necro swords. She wanted to interrogate one of the droids, but after realizing that it was a mere robot, she crushes it. She then brought the corpses of the robots back to Odin. Odin was puzzled at the sight of the corpses, as he had never seen such robotic soldiers before. He then told his men to try to deconstruct the droids and try to see if they can comprehend where they originated from. News of the entire droid squad being wiped out went back to Count Dooku. Count Dooku then instructed General Grievous to assemble a stronger army of droids from the Separatist droid army to launch a bigger scale of attack on Asgard. A flashback shows that Count Dooku received intelligence from his scouts that there was an empire out there which was seemingly stronger than the Jedi Order and the Confederacy of Independent Systems. This so-called empire was known as Asgard, and they have conquered all other worlds in the universe. Count Dooku felt that if he was able to take Asgard to its knees, then they could have stronger reinforcement alongside the droid empire to crush the Jedi Order. He then sent out several scouts to scout Asgard after receiving coordinates of Asgard. Count Dooku employed General Grievous to lead charge of the droid army, with over 200,000 droids at charge comprised of various combat droids such as B-1 series battle droid, heavy battle droid, jungle battle droid, repeater blaster droid, rocket launcher droid, and other several battle tanks. The droids were armed with blaster rifles, sniper rifles, blaster cannons, sonic blaster, and melee weapons. Dooku was proud of his army, and he was certain that he would be able to overwhelm the Asgardians. A few weeks later, after the Scouts incident, General Grievous and his legions of droids arrived at the Bifrost at Asgard. Several hours before the invasion, Heimdall foresaw that the enemies were closing in. He informed Odin of this. Odin decided not to engage yet in the battle, but rather dispatch Hela alongside 1,000 of her Einherjar soldiers. Heimdall warned that these robotic armies are massive in numbers, overwhelming them. Odin told him not to worry, as he has confidence in Hela. Eventually, Hela alongside the elite Asgard warriors stood firm at the Bifrost, awaiting the enemies. Hela stood firm at the Bifrost. General Grievous was shocked to see the enemies so small in numbers compared to them, but he underestimated the goddess of death. As General Grievous sent his droid armies to charge and fire at the Asgardians, Hela merely used her Mjolnir to send massive lightning bolts to destroy half of the droid armies. She then used her necro swords alongside the soldiers to finish off the remaining droids. Eventually, the droid entire legion was almost wiped out, and General Grievous decided to retreat as they have clearly underestimated the Asgardians. Hela was victorious and told Odin that these droids are nothing compared to what they have faced previously. General Grievous informed Count Dooku of what happened. Count Dooku said that if they have underestimated the Asgardians, then they should not interfere more. They should just focus on defeating the Jedi Order. Many years have passed since the last attempt of invasion on Asgard by the Galactic Empire. Now, Darth Sidious, or known as Palpatine, is the current Emperor of the Galactic Empire. Darth Sidious knew of what happened on Asgard during the decimation of the droid armies. However, with many decades past and now the Galactic Empire possesses the Stormtroopers, the Empire knew that they were more prepared to face Asgard. The Empire has also learned more substantial knowledge of Asgard, being a formidable empire who has conquered other realms in the universe, but since then they have stopped as they resorted to peace. He also knew of a special stone called the Space Stone that allowed its user to easily teleport to anywhere they desire. The Space Stone was in a special vault. While they had the ability to hyperjump into space, the Space Stone will allow the bearer to easily teleport and have absolute control over space. The Emperor then assigns the task to Darth Vader to get more intelligence on Asgard before attacking them. Darth Vader dispatched Boba Fett to Asgard. His tasks were to learn more about Asgard, their weapons, their main leaders alongside with their powers if possible. Boba Fett eventually returned to the Emperor and informed them of the news he received. The main leader was known as Odin, but according to the news of the royal guards, Odin was in a slumber known as the Odin sleep. Apparently there was a massive fight between his sons and Odin went into a deep slumber to recharge. When he would awake is unknown. Boba also informed the Emperor that although the Asgardians use weapons like swords, spears, and shields, their weapons were able to project energy blasts, and an Asgardian was more formidable than a mere human. He could not see the side of a powerful female commander as mentioned by Dooku last time. The Emperor thanked Boba Fett for his excellent reconnaissance. The Empire told Vader that the stormtroopers aren't as weak as the droids, and with him in command, he believes that they are more systematic. With the absence of Odin, the Emperor said that there is two objectives in Asgard. First, to destroy Asgard and subject its people to them, and the second is to gain control of the Space Stone. Darth Vader nodded and inspected the armies to Asgard. The Imperial army was much stronger than the previous droid army. With a wide range of heavy artillery and machinery, Darth Vader was certain that the Imperial army are stronger now. Eventually, Darth Vader would personally lead the charge the Imperial army against Asgard. They went into hyperspace to Asgard. At that time in Asgard, Loki was in imprisonment for his doing against the Avengers on Earth, while Thor was acting as the temporary leader of Asgard. Times were peaceful at Asgard. However, Thor soon realized that there were dark clouds appearing at Asgard, and Heimdall foresaw that what he saw many years ago, an invasion of Asgard, but this time was not a legion of robots, but a legion of organized soldiers. Darth Vader eventually arrived in Asgard, and his Imperial forces started firing at Asgard. Several Asgardian civilians were killed in the crossfire. Thor then summoned the Einherjar to defend Asgard and evacuate the civilians to safety. Thor also enlisted the help of the Warriors 3, Lady Sif, and Heimdall to assist him. While he was reluctant to get assistance from his brother, Thor went to Loki and told him that his help is needed. He needed all the help to fend off the attack from the foreign forces. Vader would make his way to the royal palace of Asgard and use the Force to smash the door wide open. The Warriors 3 and Lady Sif confronted him, but the Royal Imperial Guards came and fought them instead. With the distraction gone, Vader knew he had to acquire the Space Stone, which is the prime objective. The Asgardian elite army were having a close battle with the Stormtroopers. The Stormtroopers' heavy artillery were able to land powerful blows against the Asgardian forces. Loki told Thor that he would impersonate as one of the royal guards to trick Vader. Loki attempted to trick Vader to tell him that he was looking for was in another place. He wanted to divert Vader's attention to Thor. However, Vader sensed something was amiss and used his force to choke Loki. Loki was shocked and was gasping for breath when Thor swinged his Mjolnir to Vader. Vader was struck by it and was unable to stop the Mjolnir with the force. Thor rushed to Loki's aid and was enraged with Vader. Thor then attacked Vader, but Vader used the force to levitate several Asgardian troops who were dead and threw them at him. Thor pushed away the fallen soldiers and attacked Vader. Vader then drew his lightsaber and fought against Thor. Vader attempted to cut Thor, but Thor knew that his saber was able to penetrate things as the corpses were sliced into half with his saber. Loki, who was still recovering from the force choke by Vader, rushed to the Warriors 3 and Lady Sif after they defeated the Imperial Guards. Lady Sif and the Warriors 3 with Loki rushed to Vader's aid. As Vader saw that he was outnumbered 6-1, Thor told Vader to surrender himself. Vader saw that his men were losing a close combat fight, but Asgard was wrecked with explosions and broken buildings. Vader knew that even if he was unable to defeat the Asgardians, if he could retrieve the Space Stone, a part of his objective is completed. The Warriors 3 and Lady Sif rushed to attack Vader, but before Thor could warn them that Vader's saber can cut through anything, Vader easily sliced past all of them. The Warriors 3 were decimated, much to the horror of Thor, Lady Sif, and Loki. Thor, feeling much anger, charged a powerful blast and brought down Vader. Vader was paralyzed temporarily, warned Thor wanted to end him, but Vader's Imperial guards that survived shot Thor with a laser beam, sending him falling back. Vader regained his strength and force-choked Thor and Lady Sif. Just as he was about to snap their necks, a powerful lightning bolt stronger than what hit Vader earlier struck Vader. Lady Sif and Thor tried to regain their breath while Vader lied down, weakened badly. Coming out from the door to the Asgard throne was Odin. Odin was awakened from his Odin sleep abruptly and aided Thor. Thor was glad to see his father back in action. Thor got back to his knees, and Odin went to Vader. Odin told Vader that he and his armies came and attacked them and wrecked their home apart. For that, the punishment is death. He said that the last time they failed, and now they will fail again. As Odin was about to use his Grungnir, a powerful lightning bolt struck Odin, and Odin was tossed a few meters apart. Everyone was shocked at what happened. Coming from the smoke was the Emperor himself. The Emperor then made a light work of Lady Sif and Thor by tossing them away to a distance. He then used the Force to bind them to the ground by piling up the destroyed Imperial artillery on them, pinning them. Loki, who was still unseen by the Emperor, decided to flee from there. Vader was still pinned down. Odin got back up and told his enemy that he hasn't felt such a power in a long time. The Emperor introduced himself as Palpatine, and he wants to acquire the space tone from them. Odin told Palpatine to try to take it away from him. Odin and Palpatine clashed in a fierce battle, with Palpatine using his Force to overpower Odin, while Odin sent lightning charges to Palpatine. As Odin just woken up from his Odin sleep, he was struggling a while to fight against Palpatine. Palpatine managed to strike Odin down to the ground with a powerful lightning bolt. Just then, Vader approached Palpatine and told him that he wants to be the one that ends the life of the ruler of Asgard. Vader used his lightsaber and was about to strike Odin, but he turned back and went to stab Palpatine. But Palpatine felt that something was amiss earlier and used his Force to grab Vader in the air. Odin saw what unfolded in front of him. Vader's disguise stopped, and it was Loki who was disguised as Vader. Loki wanted to kill Odin, but failed to do so. Loki's veins started popping and was almost dead when Odin mustered the strength to charge his Odin Force into the spear Grungnir and blasted Palpatine across the throne of Asgard. Thor removed the pile of artillery on him, and Lady Sif and rushed to the aid of Odin. Odin was temporarily weakened after using a powerful ray of Odin Force. Vader was also awakened from his temporal paralysis and went to the Emperor. He said to the Emperor that Asgard is still powerful, but this time, the battle was almost done. Perhaps they should just focus on fighting the Jedi forces instead. Even if they're able to subdue Asgard, their citizens will unite and fight back in a much stronger resistance than before. The Emperor agreed and told the Imperial army to retreat. They went into hyperspace and disappeared. Thor wanted to go after them, but Odin stopped him, telling him that with the huge loss of the Asgardians, especially the Warriors 3's death, they should focus on rebuilding Asgard. Thor, Loki, and Odin looked at Asgard and vowed that one day they will bring the fight to the Galactic Empire as revenge for their people. Well, that's it for this first Marvel Star Wars crossover. Let me know in the comments section, what do you think? Who would have won between Odin, MCU, and Palpatine? That's it for now. Let me know in the comments which what if would you like to see next.